Hey there, and welcome. So, today we're going to do something that I think is incredibly helpful. We are going to gently fix 30 of the most common English grammar mistakes. Now, I want to say right up front, this explainer is absolutely not about making anyone feel bad. Seriously, it is all about helping you feel better, more natural, and way more confident. The truth is, even advanced speakers make these little slips every single day. It is completely normal. Recognizing your mistakes and knowing the simple fix, well, that's just the fastest way to improve. So we're going to look at these together with zero judgment and polish your English until it truly shines.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for the explainer today. To keep things totally stress-free and easy to remember, we've broken our 30 items down into 6 manageable areas: articles, prepositions, tenses, word choice, questions, and finally, mix-ups.
All right, let's start with section 1, fixing tricky article mistakes with a, an, and the. So did you know that a ton of languages around the world don't even have articles? No a, no an, no the, nothing. That is exactly why this feels so tricky for ESL learners. It's not you, it's just a completely new concept. Think about this sentence: I want to be doctor. Oh yes, I hear this one literally all the time. But to a native speaker's brain, leaving out the article makes the sentence sound, well, kind of unfinished. Because we need that tiny word to signal a specific instance of a person or thing. Any singular countable job needs an article. So the correct version is, I want to be a doctor. I'll pause for a second so you can say it out loud and feel that rhythm. I want to be a doctor.
Excellent. Now let's smooth out 4 more of these article rules. First, saying I went to the school yesterday when you just mean you went there to learn. To a native speaker, saying the school sounds like you're visiting a very specific physical building for a meeting, not actually attending classes. Institutions used for their main purpose take no article, so it's just, I go to school. Next, can you pass me a salt? If you say a salt, a native speaker literally pictures a single microscopic grain of salt. Uncountable nouns never use a or an. It's, can you pass me the salt? Echo that one with me. Can you pass me the salt? Third, she is best student. Superlatives always demand a the. So it must be, she is the best student. And finally, I saw a interesting movie. The native ear really trips over 2 vowel sounds crashing into each other like that. That's exactly why an goes before vowel sounds, so it seamlessly becomes, I saw an interesting movie.
Moving right along to section 2, mastering pesky English prepositions. Small words, big confusion.
You know, prepositions are the smallest words in the English language, but they cause the absolute biggest headaches. Why? Because there are just very few solid rules. Learning them phrase by phrase is completely normal. A really common mistake is saying, she is good in English. And this brilliantly illustrates our first big preposition fix. To a native speaker, being in a subject sounds like you are physically inside a book. You are always good at a skill or a subject. So the correct phrase is, she is good at English. Try saying it with me. She is good at English.
Let's clear up a few more of these tiny words. I am waiting since 1 hour. The fix here is understanding that for is used for a duration of time. So it's, I have been waiting for 1 hour. Next is a small celebration, because this one actually makes your life easier. I am agree. You don't need the am because agree is a verb, not an adjective. You just say, I agree. Simple. Then we discussed about the problem. To a native speaker, the word discuss already means talk about. So saying discussed about sounds totally redundant, like saying talked about. Just drop it. Say, we discussed the problem. Finally, I am living here since 5 years. For an ongoing situation plus a duration, we use the present perfect continuous and for. So it becomes, I have been living here for 5 years.
And that brings us to section 3, untangling common tense errors, past, present, and perfect. Listen, if you mix up your tenses, do not worry. It is incredibly common, especially because the present perfect tense doesn't even exist in a lot of languages. Look at this phrase, I am knowing the answer. This one surprises people because it seems completely logical, but it's actually wrong. Verbs like know, believe, or understand are state verbs. To a native speaker, they describe a static reality, not an active process you are doing right this second. Because it's a state, they don't use the continuous, I am doing form. The correct way is simply, I know the answer. Say that with me, I know the answer.
Let's guide you through a few more crucial tense fixes. I have went to Paris last year. Because last year is a specific
finish time, the native brain naturally expects the simple past. I went to Paris last year. Next, he don't know. For he, she, or it, we always use doesn't. So, he doesn't know. How about I am here since morning? Since acts like a bridge from the past to the present, requiring the present perfect. I have been here since morning. Then there's when I will arrive. In time clauses, English just doesn't use the future tense. It's simply when I arrive. Next up, I am born in 1995. Here is a great conceptual anchor for you. Unless you are a literal time traveler, your birth is a completely finished event in the past, so it is always, I was born. And finally, our golden rule. Yesterday I am very tired is fixed by remembering that past time words demand the past tense. So, yesterday I was very tired.
Let's step into Section 4, Word Choice Translation Traps, and what happens when literal translation fails.
I want to deeply validate you here. These next mistakes happen simply because you are brilliantly translating directly from your native language. The words you're choosing are logically right, but the specific combination in English is just slightly off. For instance, he explained me the answer. The logic trap here is so easy to fall into. But to a native speaker, this sounds like you are taking a person, breaking them into pieces, and explaining the person. In English, you cannot explain a person, you explain something to a person. So the correct phrasing is, he explained the answer to me. Let's do a quick echo pause for that one. He explained the answer to me.
Here are 4 more friendly tips to smooth out your phrasing. I want to make a party. Well, in English, we don't manufacture them, we have or throw them. I want to throw a party. Next, I am very boring in this class. Okay, really lean in here because this is an amazing insight. ED describes how you feel, and ING describes what the thing is like. You feel bored. The class is boring. If you say, I am boring, you are accidentally telling the native speaker that you are an uninteresting person. So say, I am very bored. Third, my English is not so good. For describing quality, not very sounds much more natural. My English is not very good. Finally, I want to say you something. You say words, but you tell a person. So it's, I want to tell you something. Let's echo that. I want to tell you something.
Next up is Section 5, Perfecting Your English Questions by Mastering the Word Order.
I want to reassure you. Forming questions is notoriously one of the hardest things to do on the spot in an English conversation. But the underlying pattern is actually really predictable. Take a listen. Where you are going. To a native ear, this sounds like a regular statement that suddenly, at the very last second, just turns into a question. So the crucial point is that in direct questions, the auxiliary verb, in this case are, must always come before the subject you. The correct sentence is, where are you going? Go ahead and say it out loud to feel that natural rhythm. Where are you going? Let's look at 3 more. How much it costs. Again, we need that auxiliary first. How much does it cost? Now, listen closely because here is a great aha moment. Do you know where is the station? This is an indirect question. And surprisingly, in indirect questions, the word order returns to normal. The question part is already handled by the do you know. So it magically becomes, do you know where the station is? Say it with me, do you know where the station is? And lastly, why you didn't call me. Negative questions need that auxiliary flip too. So why didn't you call me? And we've reached our final section, Section 6, Resolving Similar Word Mix-ups, the sound-alikes and look-alikes. This is the ultimate polish, right here. We are tackling words that translate to just one single word in your language, but 2 words in English. Can you borrow me your pen? This is a classic mix-up. To a native speaker, borrow me sounds physically impossible. Let's clearly distinguish these 2 directions of temporary ownership. Lend means you give something out. Borrow means you take something in. So if you want someone to give you a pen, you say, can you lend me your pen? Let's practice that difference. Can you lend me your pen?
And here are our final 3 mix-ups to conquer today. Confusing loose and lose. Let's treat this like a fun game with pronunciation. Loose, meaning not tight, has an S sound that rhymes with goose. Lose, meaning to misplace something, has a Z sound that rhymes with news. Goose and news. Next, advice versus advise. The noun advice rhymes with nice, while the verb advise rhymes with size. She gave me good advice. Finally, make versus do. The general rule here is that make is for creating something brand new, like making a cake or making a decision.
Do is for performing a task, like doing your homework or doing exercise.
We did it. We just walked through 30 common English mistakes, and you did absolutely brilliantly. I really want to leave you with immense encouragement today. If you recognize some of your own mistakes in this explainer, that is actually a wonderful sign. It means your language awareness is beautifully growing, and you now have the tools to fix them. So I have to ask, which mistake surprised you the most? I challenge you this week to actively listen to a native speaker, maybe in a movie or a song, and try to catch them using one of these rules correctly. Keep practicing, keep correcting yourself without judgment, and keep it simple.